Next, there is only one story in town on the sporting front tonight, the fallout from the David Haye Audley Harrison world title fight. The two Londoners were meant to provide a spectacle to linger in the memory. Well, it lingers all right, but not necessarily for the right reasons. David is here with me to give us his take on the fight and the rows that have broken out since. But first, Marcus Powell, who's ringside on Saturday night, reminds us about what the controversy is all about.
David Haye retained his world heavyweight title and made £5 million by demolishing Audley Harrison, but he talked himself straight into trouble by announcing that he'd bet on his third round victory, which just happens to be against boxing's rules.
I can punch and land punches whenever I choose to. That's why this fight went to the third round. I put a lot of money on the third round. A lot of my friends and family did, so I didn't want to let them down by doing them too early.
In the first couple of rounds, barely a punch was thrown and boos were raining down on champ and challenger.
Hayes round, it has to be.
Then in round 3, the Haymaker began to live up to his reputation and turned on the attack. Audley's defence and hopes were demolished inside a couple of minutes. As we went ringside for an interview with Bermondsey's most celebrated citizen, he was still talking cash in answer to questions.
Congratulations. Thank you very much, thank you very much. Did it go all according? Yeah, it went exactly to plan. I said to everyone, it would go in free, and it's exactly what it did. There's a lot of people made a lot of money tonight. Including me. You top of the list, I think, there. Right? Yeah, but there's a few people not too far behind. You know, that third round, I knew after the weigh-in, you know, I said to a few people straight away, I said 3 rounds tops, no way, don't put any money on anything other than the third round.
So David Haye is in the clear just as quickly as he backed himself into a corner. Although the matter will officially be discussed at a board meeting next month, along with Audley Harrison's failure to put up much of a fight. In theory, Audley could be denied some of his purse if it was felt he didn't give 100%, but that too is unlikely to happen. The WBA heavyweight champion now needs to set his sights on rather better value opponents and try to unify heavyweight titles to really secure his place in boxing history. Marcus Powell, London Tonight.
David Haye, thank you so much for coming to talk to us. You've had a busy few hours.
Yeah.
Lots to talk about. Can we clarify this point? Did you or did you not bet on your own fight?
I did not go into a betting shop and put money on myself, no. What I did do is tell everybody around me, you know, I told from reporters at the weigh-in, fight no way in a million years was going past 3 rounds. I said to him, if Audley comes out and engages in battle in the first round, it will go in that round. But I knew deep down he'd revert to type and be cautious. If he was cautious, you know, I wasn't going to go out there and do something stupid. I was going to pace myself, and I was going to look for the perfect opportunity. And I knew 2 or 3 rounds tops, but I knew in that third round, put the pressure on him, he'd have to open up. And when he opened up, as you saw what happened there, I started landing my punches. And once I start landing my punches on anybody in the world, they've got to go down. Okay,
I'm still a bit confused. Why did you say you did bet if you didn't bet?
I told everybody, you know, don't put any money on. For all of my fights, I do the same thing.
Yeah, I get that, but why did you say to the reporters straight away after the match, why did you say that you had put, I'll just read it to you so, to just double check what you're saying. I put a lot of money on the third round. First person, you said it about you. Why would you say that if you didn't bet?
When you tell your family to put dough on something, it felt like it was my money. You know, because I said to people, I know people a lot of money on that. So it felt like it was my money. Obviously, I didn't physically go and do it myself, but I know there was a lot of money, and I know a lot of people were very, very happy at the end of that, and that made me overjoyed. Because, you know, if it went into the 4th round, I would have felt responsible for a lot of people losing money, and the fact that it went in the 3rd, my prediction, as it always is before, where it was correct, and I was happy. I was very, very happy at the end of that, and I earned a lot of money from the fight because, you know, it sold real well. Everybody, so I was overjoyed with the night. Not only did the people around me earn money, I earned a whole heap of money from the fight. I don't need to make extra money on the side. I make enough money as it is. So I was happy.
Some people wondering, watching the fight, why you didn't finish him off a lot earlier. Why? What were you thinking in the second round? He didn't give me the
opportunity to knock him out in early rounds. If you watch it, he was very, very cagey. If you watch any of Audley's fights, he's got a big left hand. That's the one thing that Audley has. He steps back. He waits for you to do something, and he tries to counterpunch you. I was trying to do the same thing to him. I wanted to make him cautious. I wanted to make him anxious. I wanted to put him in his uncomfort zone. If you listen to Adam Booth in the corner, he's saying you've got to give him an anxiety attack. He's saying you've got to keep threatening him, and that's exactly what I did. Because so as soon as he did something in the 3rd round, I just let my punches go, and I knew he'd get into his shell.
And you couldn't have done that earlier, and which would have meant a lot of people wouldn't have won their money.
I could have done. I feel I could have, but I would have been risking. I'd have been taking a lot more risk by doing that. You know, each box, everyone's got a certain sort of energy bar in fighting. You could empty it all out in the first round and try and knock someone out, and you might do that. But if it goes to the 7th, 8th, 9th round, you'd have wasted a lot of energy early. So I choose to, I predict the round which I feel is safe. It's the safest one for me and the best logical step for me to do. And this one was the 3rd round. I knew Audley could take it. He can take a shot. He's only been knocked down twice in 30 fights, so it wasn't like I was going to hit him with one shot and knock him out. I knew I had to hit him with an onslaught of shots, which I did do. So you know, I planned things out. I know Audley very, very well. I know what I'm like. I know how training went for me. I trained so hard for this fight.
Okay. A lot of your fans, not even boxing fans, a lot of your fans are not happy tonight, not happy with what they saw on Saturday. I want to just clarify this thing in terms of the reaction from the British Boxing Board of Control. As Marcus said in that report, you are in the clear. They heard your interview this morning on the radio and said, yeah, we believe what David Haye is saying. What they've said to us before we came on air, we have accepted that he said what he said this morning, but this is a contradiction of what he said in the post-match interview on Saturday, i.e. that you placed a bet. Therefore, we will be discussing it further at a board meeting in December. That's from Robert Smith, the General Secretary. If you've done nothing wrong, which you are clearly saying you haven't, and they've accepted that, why are they going to discuss it at a board meeting? It just doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know. Last I heard, they said it was okay. They asked me, did you make a bet on it? Is there any evidence whatsoever of you betting on it? I said no, because I haven't physically betted on it. I told a lot of other people to do that, but you know, as I said to them, I earn enough money from boxing as it is.
So what's your reaction to that then? They are going to discuss it?
They have meetings. I've had loads of them. They've had meetings every other month, so it's not a big deal.
Did you speak to Audley after the fight?
Yeah, I said to him. I just asked him how he was. You know, he said he was okay. He was obviously bitterly disappointed because he's getting a lot of stick in the press because he said he was going to fight every second, every round. And if he would have done that, I said, listen to the interviews I said before. I said if Audley comes out and engages in battle in the ring, he'll get knocked out straight away. But he didn't. He was cautious and he went to the 3rd round. And I said to the reporters at the weigh-in, I said no more than 3 rounds.
David Haye, I've got to stop you there very, very quickly, briefly. Yes or no? Do you regret taking that fight on?
No, hell no.
David Haye, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you.